Hello and welcome to Analysis with me, Jonathan Steele. A recent decision made by the House of Lords to ban the narcotic leaf Khat in the UK has received mixed reactions from the Somali community. The plan to ban Khat attracted over 200 members of the House of Lords who voted in favour, while only 125 members opposed banning it. Khat will be classified as a Class C drug, and the ban will come into place from early July this year. Theresa May and others in the House of Lords are concerned that the UK would become a hub for the smuggling of Khat into other countries, and that the profit from the trading of the drug is being used already to fund terrorist operations in East Africa. Anti-Khat campaigners have said the ban will go a long way towards improving community relations of Somalis living in the UK. However, Tim Williams, who is part of the team of scientists who carried out research on the plant on behalf of the government, said if it was Khat that caused all these problems, we would see it in the Yemeni community. We can be very clear, it's not Khat causing those problems. It's much more about the social problems that this particular community faces. Khat chewing is being demonized by certain people in the community to explain away the problems that they are suffering. Anyway, with scarce scientific evidence to back the banning of the plant, critics have also questioned the motives for Theresa May to push ahead with the ban. To discuss the political implications of banning Khat, in the studio with me are Abubakar Awale, a British Somali who has been campaigning to ban Khat, Duali Yusuf, Foreign Secretary of the Somali Unity Council, and on the phone we're joined by Mohammed Ahmed, who is the UK's leading Khat importer. Welcome to the programme.
Thank you.
Let me start with you, Abubakar. You used to chew a lot of Khat, then you changed your mind. Why?
I can honestly say it was not a decision I made slightly. I can say it took a knife to knock some sense into my head. I've been stabbed 4 times, and that was the turning point. And, you know, that's the last day I chewed Khat, 2004. But for me to get along with my life and to get a job and forget all about the community, this is something I couldn't feel very comfortable. I thought I am morally obligated to highlight the effect of Khat on the communities and to prevent young people going through the suffering and the pain I have been through.
Well, is it necessary to ban it, though? I mean, how successful are your efforts at persuading people?
You know, realistically, what we are asking and what we have been asking the government is to ban Khat in line in European countries. We are not asking, you know, we are not asking something unreasonable. It's banned across entire Western world, and it's the chemicals of Khat, cathine and cathinone, are both controlled substances in this country. So I am quite, you know, amazed with the Advisory Council on Misuse of Drugs recommendation not to ban the drug, when the advisory themselves have recommended the cathine and cathinones. And you know, they have to be the only body, in such a body in the entire Western world who came up with such a recommendation, because the entire scientists of the Western world obviously are backing me up.
Well, what's your view, Duali? I mean, Theresa May's reasons for banning it good ones, do you think?
I think it is a good decision for Somalis or other communities as well. And the drug Khat is one of the biggest problem for Somali society. For example, it had broken for many families. And during the evening, I mean, we come from a war-torn country, Somalia, and our children needs their father figure to stay during the evening and teach their children and support. But unfortunately, during the evening, some fathers, they disappeared. And it causes a lot of havoc.
Well,
and it causes a lot of also, it affects for the health for many our young people. And it also causes many worries in Somalia.
But a lot of people go to the pub and drink for the whole evening and abandon their families and sit around with other people. So, I mean, we're not banning alcohol.
I think it's need to be educated, but Khat is different. I mean, those people, many people, yes, they go to work, but some of them, they never worked. Some of them, they never had education. It affected their health, and it needs to be protected to our community. And also the fathers have got responsibility to look after their families. And the fathers are failing because they chew in the khat during the evening time. And also its effect, it breaks apart for many families in this country and other countries. And also Britain is the last country who are banning khat. All other Europeans is already banned, including the United States. So we need this to be banned. And this is, we thank to the government, the British government, David Cameron. Also,
but isn't it a reflection, as the scientist said, of social problems, and we should deal with the social problems, bad housing, low wages, no wages if people are unemployed? I mean, isn't that the big issue?
Yes, it is. It's a big issue, but this is part of our problem. And we need to rectify as a Somali society. And if our government to listen to us, because we need to ban this khat. It affects our community. It destroys our family, and that is a part of issue. We've been. I mean, the conservative has already, promised, and when he was campaigning, Mr. Awale, and 3 years ago, the Justice Secretary, what is his name?
Yeah, it was at the time Shadow Home Secretary. I mean, the point is, and I can understand, and I have a huge respect for Advisory Council on Misuse of Drugs and their findings, but it's the same body, again, who have recommended 2010 to ban methadone, so known meow meow, when it was affecting, wider society. And I think anybody who makes his decision based on where ethnic groups are using it and whether it's going to spread to wider society, I think that's a very clear discrimination. I think Theresa May was spot on, very brave decision, and Somali mothers are singing her name. And I think communities will go, and as the election comes, and use their political voices to appreciate.
But now, why is it that the Yemeni community in Britain is not using khat so much, even though in Yemen itself, everybody, it doesn't matter whether they're rich or poor, is not doing it?
I hear Yemenis lobbying and saying it's not affecting us. Yemenis and Somalis are totally different categories. Yemenis, they import their own khat from their own country, and I think the motive is also money-motivated people who are saying, we get money, we use it, and it's somehow they have to find their own ways of dealing with it. But within Somali community, there are clear evidence of medical and social harm, and I will point out to the audience, khat-related deaths, 14 cases, St. George's Hospital. This has been given submitted to the Advisory Council on Misuse of Drugs, but again, they didn't take it serious.
Well, Mohammed Ahmed, you're there. You're importing a drug that is causing massive human suffering and even 14 deaths recently. What do you say to that?
I just want to add more points to Abdul Awale, the points which is moving it out. Regarding about family problem on the khat, I don't think if there is a family problem on the khat, I don't believe that. Because most of the people who are chewing khat are working class people. I myself, Ahmed Mohammed, I chew khat and I work. And I have no problem. I've got a wife and I have no problem with marriage. Regarding to Yemen community, why do women come from Yemen, they don't complain to their men? Why people coming from Ethiopia, they don't complain on their men? Why is it only Somali only complaining?
Okay, what's the answer?
Maybe we are more creative, maybe we are more proactive, maybe we have been seeing the pain too much. I understand Mohammed's, my fellow Somali man who's losing millions of pounds. I understand where he's coming from. And I wish him well to create another successful business. But the reality is, he is money motivated. He is not interested. The suffering and the whether it's killing or destroying community, he is in for the money. And I wish him well.
Well, let Mr. Ahmed come back on that. You're just interested in making money. You don't care about the consequences of people taking khat.
Khat is not being used yesterday or previously. It has been used on centuries. It's a traditional whereby our grandfathers used to chew it.
But now it's an epidemic.
My
it's epidemic.
Yeah, but they're saying that it's become an epidemic, and the social conditions are very different here from what they were in rural Somalia 50 years ago. Or
Absolutely.
And let me just finish. Let me just give you time. Let me speak out my points. I gave you time. I was listening to whatever you're talking about.
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead.
If you're saying khat has got a problem, I just want to, if the Yemens have got a problem on the khat, I'm joining a hand to ban it. But if it's only Somali community complaining, this is a civil war which people came from a different country. They've got their own problems on the head. That's why they complain.
Look, let me explain, Mohammed. Mohammed, you giving people a trash and you taking money, you robbing people and you telling people this is good for you. I know it's harming, but because you don't care, because you gaining money, and that is the response we're getting from you. You know what has destroyed Somalia? What was fueled the war in Somalia was Khat. The young men were destroyed by Khat, and this country. Go and visit. You know how they leave those who chew in the Khat, and we know the place they live today. It's a trash. We cannot deny this. But if you deny it to make money and destroy your community, I think this is a shame for all of us as Somalians.
I don't think if it's a shame. You're just taking people's whatever. You get it? You're saying it's a shame. It's not a shame.
Is it even?
They don't complain.
Even Islam says whatever harms you is haram, and you know it. This is not haram. It's unlawful in Islam. You know it. But now you just protect your business. You don't care about the children who losing their fathers and causes.
I think the other point is, you know, I mean, I know I'm very much aware Kenya has been pushing this campaign behind the scene, and Mohammed has been, you know, legally trying to challenge it. The fact of the matter is, Mohammed has to realize, you know, at the end of the day, Britain is doing a favor for the community. Absolutely. You know, the young people will contribute and integrate to the society. And it's not unrealistic. One has to realize why these drugs ban in line with the rest of the European world.
The government scientific committee said it's not harmful. So Theresa May is not acting on medical advice. She's acting on the advice or her idea that it's to do with terrorism funding and so on.
I have attended and we have submitted and gathered evidence from hospitals and mental illnesses, liver failures, including deaths. I mean, I respect an advisory council on misuse of drugs, and I've attended the evidence gathering. I can honestly say, and we have given enough evidence. But one has to also wonder why the entire Western world scientists are finding the evidence of harm in Khat, but the scientists in ACDM are not finding it. It's the same advisory council on misuse of drugs, I'm afraid, again, who have recommended the ban of meow meow, and I think it was more politically motivated rather than evidence-based.
What about this argument that it's used to fund terrorism in Somalia?
I don't believe, as a Somalian, any kind of money from Khat goes to terrorism hand. But the reality is Khat is harmful and it is destroying our community. And we have been campaigning for many years. Even the last central government of Somalia has been banned during the 80s. And, you know, we had a better life. People had a better life.